Hey guys, Tech Agent here. Today we have the second part of the ZX mod. Now it's done. Let me show you guys. This is it. This is the MDR ZX-700. If you guys don't know how the original one looks, Google it. You know, that's all I can say. But here it is. Here's the 3-pin mini XLR, as you can see at the bottom. Now this video is mainly focused on how everything went and some things to keep in mind if you want to do it, because that might happen. There might be one guy, you know, in the internet who wants to do this same mod. So just for the one guy, let's talk about it. The ZX is a pretty easily moddable headphone. That was a terrible sentence, but it's a fairly simple chassis to, you know, mod and do stuff with. Some tools, you need at least 3 soldering irons. One is a scrap soldering iron, which just, you know, which is not, you don't need it, you just can use it for melting the plastic. So it's just a base soldering iron. The second one is a thin tip, a point tip soldering iron, and the third is a 50-watt soldering iron. So that specific size should work. And if you can have even a higher voltage soldering iron, that should work as well for just burning up the enamel coating by, you know, tinning the wires. That is the first set of things you want. The second is you need a pair of scissors. You also need a wire stripper. You will also need electrical tape, a hot glue, some solder obviously, and all that stuff. Finally, the most important thing you need is a file, a metal file, a round file. That is very important while doing this. The file will, you know, smoothen out the edges. I would recommend the file more than sandpaper or anything like that. It's just easier to work with. If you can get a long one, so you can have a better angle in terms of filing and stuff. So I would recommend, you know, a long circular one. I think that's all you need. The most important thing being the XLR connector right here. This is Amphenol AG3 MCC. I've talked about Amphenol a lot. I love them. In the unboxing, you guys know how much I love it. So this is a great connector, gold plated as well. You should avoid cheap 3-pin XLRs, because cheap ones are not reliable at all. So get a proper good quality one. Switchcraft makes the TB3. I mean, that is good, but I prefer Amphenol in general, so I really like it. Yeah, that's all you need. Now in terms of modding the headphone, you just gotta take off the ear pads, unscrew it, and then you'll see everything. Now I'll try my best to show you guys the inside of the headphone. I'm not gonna take this apart again, but from the pictures I've taken, I'll try my best to show you guys with some editing and stuff, so you guys can see everything clearly, how everything looks inside. Now you might see this in the screen. As you can see, I have everything open. There are 3 wires coming. One is a red, one is a green, one is a copper wire, or maybe a green or blue, I don't know. The red one is coming from the right cup, and the blue one is connecting to the left driver via some PCB magic, and that is joining together, eliminating the negative wire and just making one ground, so you cannot make it balanced. This is a unbalanced headphone. If you want to make it balanced, you gotta unsolder everything, make it dual entry, and then you can make it balanced very easily. But single entry, one side is unbalanced, and that's what Sony has done. So that kind of sucks, but that's fine for our application. But it is easy to make it balanced. You might also see that the hole where the wire is coming from is quite a large hole. You know, it's much larger than I thought. And that is important because you need a large hole for fitting the 3-pin XLR. If you're using, let's say, a 3.5mm TRS plug, then it's a different story. But if you're using 3-pin mini XLR, then you really need, you know, to make a hole. I used soldering iron just to, you know, smoothen out or melt the outer plastic. A lot of people use a drill machine. Also, some people use a electric screwdriver with the bits that, you know, it's not as powerful as a drill machine, but still helps while you know, just chipping off the plastic. I use soldering irons just because it's easier to work with. Once you melt it, it's easy to file, and there's less risk of damaging stuff than using a, you know, a very powerful drill machine. So that's my method. You can use yours, and that's fine. Doesn't matter, everything should work. It's just a matter of manipulation, and whatever works best, that's fine with me. Other than that, everything is pretty straightforward. One thing to keep in mind, this is very important, since it's a single-sided cable, there is a wire coming from the headband connecting to the cup. That wire comes from the edges. So when you're melting the plastic, the holes, be very careful that you don't burn the wire, because it is possible. It is very easy to burn the wire, so be extremely careful while doing that. There is a good amount of distance, that you can melt it, but still be careful. Otherwise, if you go crazy and if you melt everything, then your wire will be melted, and then it's gonna be a really hard time finding a wire which is as thin as that, and then doing the soldering work again. So it's gonna be a hassle. So take it easy, take your time, just keep on rechecking everything before you screw up anything. So that's very important to keep in mind. Other than that, it's pretty simple. That's it. The last thing and the most important thing is that you might fit everything, you might fit the mini XLR, but in the end, if you cannot screw it again, then what's the point? Because it's not connecting together. This is where the soldering iron comes again. You gotta melt the plastic at the bottom in which the wire was seated when it was stock. Since we have chipped the wire and since we have taken off the conductors, we don't need that plastic part, and that is bothering a lot of space. So we need to cut that or melt that, just so we can make some space. Now this is the place the soldering iron is, I think, the only way possible to get rid of that plastic. You cannot drill anything, you cannot file anything. It's a lot of time, and you're just gonna waste a lot of time. So since nobody's gonna see beneath the baffle plate, it's just the best way is to just melt that plastic and then just sand it so that it becomes smooth and does not have some edges and stuff which might chip the wire. So just do that, and everything should just fit properly, and you should be good to go. This is the first thing. The last thing to keep in mind while soldering is that you don't have a lot of wire, so you have to be extremely precise while you're doing. Do not screw anything up, because if the wire just keeps on becoming less, or if you just waste a lot of wire, then it's gonna be a hassle just to fix everything again. So please take it easy, take your time before you screw up anything. That's all you gotta do. I cannot explain everything in deep, because once you go inside, you will figure out everything yourself, but this is the only tip I can give you. And once that is done, you can easily solder, put everything back again, hot glue the under part, because this is a mini XLR is different from DRS connectors, in which the bolting part is from the inside or not. It's very hard to explain, but you have to use hot glue to just precision fit everything. And once that is done, your modding is done. You have successfully modded the MDR ZX-700, and it looks like this. It looks fantastic. It works fantastic. The channels are cohesive. If you guys are wondering what the 3-pin mini XLR color coding is, I'll explain it to you guys. It's actually pretty simple. The top part is red, that is your left cup. The 3 is ground, and 1 is green or blue or whatever, that is your right channel. So that is the most basic way to explain. The ZX-700 uses a bit of a different design than the Sony MDR V6. The V6, the red one is the right one, and the other color is the left one. So you got to open it up, figure it out yourself, and see how the wire is coming, where it's connecting, and where it's going out. If you can do that yourself, I think it should be fairly easy to solder everything back on, and you should be in good shape. That's all there is to it. That's the mod. I highly recommend doing this if you have a ZX-700 or pretty much any headphone out there. You don't have to use the 3-pin XLR. That's just what I use, so I can use the K702 cable, and I can upgrade the cable as well. I have some things in mind. I am currently working on making a cable for the D340, as well as the K702 and the ZX-700. So I'll try my best to get those mods done in this month if I can. But this has been a very successful mod. I'm pretty confident that I can do some bigger mods than this. This was the biggest one I did, but I can do even bigger. So quite excited about that. That's pretty much it. I think I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy, do some DIY, and the results could be magic. It's just a lot of fun and you learn a lot of stuff. So that's pretty much it. I think I'll see you guys next time. All right.